What's up, guys? Welcome to today's team member training. We're talking about organic traffic this week, and today we're going to cover the basics of search engine optimization. To understand search engine optimization, you have to understand what a search engine is doing. Ideally, when your member comes to, I'm used to saying member, when a viewer goes to a search engine, they're looking for information about something or a specific topic. So they type in their search words, and then the search engine's job is to try and bring back the most relevant, useful content that it can for the viewer. When its job is to try and get the content the viewer is most likely wanting from it, from those keywords they entered. So if you're going to try and search engine optimize your site, you need to sort of follow that model. Be the viewer. You'll optimize your keywords. We're going to talk about creating content in the expert member training, which will go over keywords and headlines and stuff like that, which is really important for search engine optimization. But it's for the beginning, just understand that some of the keys are creating fresh, relevant content. The easiest way to do that is to have a blog on your site, because then you can add new content all the time. The more recent the content is, the search engines think that it's more likely to be credible, because if you're trying to search about one I get a ton of traffic for on my blog is the Facebook image sizes. They always roll out the new profiles, and the image sizes are all different, and everyone searches for trying to find out what image sizes to use. If there are two pages that are of equal value to Facebook image sizes, and one was 3 years ago and one was a month ago, then the one that's a month ago is always going to be ranked higher. And a couple other things to take into account, the keyword usage, again, we'll talk about in creating content, but that also is involved in the name of your website and the domain itself. So you want to make sure that you have relevance, to whatever your main topic is within the actual name of the site and the domain name of the site. The domain name, and they don't use that as much anymore, but it is still part of the algorithm. The key here is to have a focused target. If you're creating a blog about bikes, I want to have John's Bike Guide, with the domain John's Bike Guide. I want to call it John's Bike Guide, and I want to have a description of I'd look up keywords to formulate my description, which again is an expert member training topic. Where you'd have your description of all things bikes, today's guides to bikes, bicycle accessories, mountain biking, whatever your main purpose is, and keep that stuff all tagged. They use the tags to look for the most important information. You have your standard title tags on your page and your meta tags, which is what it displays. But also keep in mind your title, your H1 tags and H2 tags. That tells the search engines that that content is important. So you want to make sure that it is important. You want to keep all the content relevant. If you're doing a blog post about bikes, then you want it to be about bikes. Don't start with bikes and then talk about a car, and then talk about an airplane, and then talk about horseback riding, and then go on to horses in general, and then horse racing, and then end up all over the place. Because then Google's not going to think that you're actually talking about bicycles. They're going to think you're talking about maybe transportation, or you're talking about horses, when really you're trying to focus on bikes. So you want to keep it all relevant to the topic. You want to keep it fresh because it needs to be new content, updated. If you're not doing a blog, then if you have a static website, it can be difficult, especially membership sites like a lot of us has, where you just have a little bit of content that's outside of a members area. Some things you can do there is just update your sales page. You don't have to do a major change, but change things on it so that it has a new, it's fresh. It doesn't match the cached version. They'll think it's newer content. Then try and reduce images when possible. Use CSS, style sheets to style text whenever possible. Images, the words aren't translated by search. So if you have a design that's mostly all images, all the text is stylized with images, you're really losing out on a lot of search value by not having your that text indexable. So you want to make sure that you use text whenever you possibly can. If you do have to use images, make sure that they have alternate tags, which are not only good for accessibility for people who don't have image viewers or who are blind and need to read the content, so the browser can read it for them. But it also gives clues to search engines, again, on what it's about. We're also going to, if you're creating SEO content, you want to make sure that you have an opportunity for it to be shared. Just plaster that thing with Facebook share buttons and tweet buttons. Social, Google, Facebook, and YouTube are the top 3 websites in the world. The most 3 visited. Especially, Facebook is a place where people go specifically to share things with each other. So it's already a trained ability for people to share things and sit on Facebook. So you want to give them easy opportunities to do that. That's something we'll cover more in the advanced member training, along with, and then the expert with creating content, how to create viral content. Mostly for here, we're just sticking with the basics of search engine optimization. So you have your tags, you have your fresh content, it's relevant. You want it to be shareable, so you can get it out there on social media. That's really all there is to it. There's a lot of real complex things if you start looking around for it, but those are the main keys that you need to keep in mind. And also, consistency. It's a very long-term process. It doesn't happen overnight. You have to build a lot of domain authority before you start to getting ranked at all, or even indexed, which is something, again, that will be covered in. We can talk about that now. Let's do it now. Domain authority is essentially, it builds up on your domain. It's based on, the relevance of the content that you're producing, your bounce rates, when you allow them to measure them with analytics. Backlinks and the age of the domain, how long it's existed. So your authority increases with those factors, and so does your search results because of it. A lot of search engine strategy has to do with how you're creating your content. And I'm not providing a lot in this video because I really want to cover that stuff in the expert training. I really just wanted to cover the basics of how it works today. So we've covered the fresh relevant content, tags, a little bit of keywords there. That's really the main parts of it. If you another good thing is that multimedia ranks higher also. So if you do a blog post, you'd also probably want to do a video about it, because now you can not only reach YouTube search through the video, but also have the video content on your blog post, which will increase, I mean, not necessarily your blog post, it could be your sales page or anything else, whatever your content is, article, all that stuff will help boost the ranking on search engines. That's probably about as far into it as I want to go with this video training, so we'll leave it at that. The advanced member training will cover the social media side of it, and backlinks, pretty much other ways to drive organic traffic other than search, which coincidentally will increase your search engine ranking by having people share your content. It's a little shorter term, faster paced than search engine, and it's one of the techniques that I use on a lot of my my blogs that I use to create advertising revenue with. So we'll cover that with the advanced member training, and then the expert member training. We'll talk about actually creating the content, planning keywords, creating headlines, including your media, that kind of stuff there. Make sure you come by to our daily marketing meetup Monday through Thursday at 4 p.m. Our next team member training will be live on Monday at 7 p.m. And then we also have consultation sessions available for if you want to formulate a one-on-one plan, a comprehensive search engine strategy, social media strategy for marketing your own business using these technologies. And I think that's about it for today. I will see you at the next training. Have a great day.